On the outskirts of a forgotten village lay an ancient mansion known as Rajmohol. Built in the 18th century by a wealthy zamindar, it was once a marvel of architecture, with intricately carved pillars, sprawling gardens, and a shimmering crystal chandelier that hung in its grand hall. But time had not been kind to Rajmohol. Its once pristine walls were now cloaked in ivy, the windows shattered, and a chilling silence enveloped the place, broken only by the rustling of leaves and the occasional howl of the wind. The villagers whispered about the mansion in hushed tones, warning travelers to stay away. They spoke of a curse, one that had doomed the zamindar and his lineage. Legend had it that the zamindar's insatiable greed led him to betray a mystic sage who had sought shelter during a stormy night. Angered by the betrayal, the sage cursed the mansion, vowing that no soul would ever find peace within its walls. Over the years, anyone who dared to step inside Rajmohol after sunset
never returned. One stormy evening, a group of college friends, Ananya, Vikram, Riya, and Kabir, found themselves stranded in the village due to a broken-down car. The only shelter nearby was Rajmohol. Despite the villagers' desperate pleas to stay away, the group, skeptical of ghost stories, decided to spend the night there. As they stepped through the creaking gates, a sudden gust of cold wind greeted them, sending shivers down their spines. The mansion loomed before them, its cracked facade
illuminated by flashes of lightning. Inside, the air was thick with dampness and decay. Cobwebs hung from the ceilings, and the faint scent of burnt wood lingered. "This place is like something straight out of a horror movie," Kabir joked, trying to lighten the mood. But his laughter echoed unnervingly, as though the mansion itself were mocking him. As night fell, strange occurrences began. Riya noticed shadows flitting across the walls, though no one was
there. Ananya felt an icy hand brush against her shoulder, but when she turned, she saw only darkness. The chandelier in the grand hall began to sway, though there was no wind inside. "It's just our imagination," Vikram said, though his voice wavered. At midnight, they heard it, a low, mournful wail echoing through the mansion. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. The group huddled together, their flashlights flickering. "We need to get out of here," Ananya whispered,
her voice trembling. But when they tried to leave, they found the main door wouldn't budge. The windows were sealed shut, and their phones had no signal. The wailing grew louder, transforming into anguished screams. Out of the corner of his eye, Kabir saw a figure, a woman in a tattered red sari, her face obscured by a curtain of matted hair. She stood at the top of the grand staircase, staring down at them. Her eyes glowed an unnatural shade of white. "Who are you?" Vikram shouted, his voice
echoing in the vast hall. The woman let out an ear-piercing scream, and the chandelier crashed to the floor, shattering into 1,000 shards. The friends ran, their footsteps echoing as they navigated the labyrinthine halls. But the mansion seemed alive, its corridors twisting and shifting, trapping them in an endless maze. One by one, they were separated. Kabir's screams were the first to fade, followed by Ray's. Ananya and Vikram found themselves in a dimly lit room filled with old
portraits. The faces in the paintings seemed to follow their every move, their eyes filled with sorrow and malice. "This can't be real," Ananya muttered, tears streaming down her face. Suddenly, one of the portraits, a depiction of the zamindar, moved. The figure stepped out of the frame, his hollow eyes staring into their souls. By morning, the storm had passed, and the villagers found the mansion eerily quiet. Inside, there was no trace of the four friends, only their belongings, scattered across the grand hall. But on the walls of Rajmohol, 4 new portraits had appeared, each bearing a striking resemblance to Ananya, Vikram, Riya, and Kabir. The curse of Rajmohol had claimed its latest victims.